Hello guys, and welcome back to episode number 20 of the East Yorkshire playthrough, and this is going to be the final episode of this series. And we're starting off by looking at this goods and machines train currently going between Weldrake and York, and there's a reason for this. If you stuck around till the end of the last episode, you'll know that what I want to do to finish off this series is make sure that every city's getting everything it wants. The only two things we have left North Ferriby here needs both goods and machines, and then there's also Market Waiting after this autosave. There we go. So a Market Waiting here needs food and fuel. Now, as you know, we are already producing all four of those, so it's just a case of getting them to the towns. And then the final thing I want to do is upgrade this main line running round with some dual stocks and have a final ride around the map. So to start with, what I'm thinking of doing is, because we've already got goods and machines here and more than we need for the line to York, I think I'm going to put another platform on this station and sort of run it down here, but then get onto the main line and take it all the way up to North Ferriby and do a loop back around so we come back onto the right side of the main line again, all the way down, and then maybe here just before Weldrake, branch off and back in, just so that train's got its own little loop. What we will need to do is double track this bit down, so there's going to be a fair bit of work in it, to be honest with you. On the main line, let me just double check, I believe the main line is still, yes it is, there's no catenaries, it is still diesel. So we don't need any catenaries on our line either. So I'll make it as long as the station here. And then the first thing I want to look at doing is this guy is coming out. It is electrified here, but I believe it's a no-hab. It is, so it doesn't need to be. But what I need to do really is double track this section. We bring this out. I mean, our train will be pulling out forwards here, so the speed doesn't matter too much. It's not too important. I am going to leave the catenary on here just so this all looks similar. I don't want it looking, you know, a bit of a mess. Like one side of the track's got catenary and one side hasn't, if you know what I mean. Okay, and then from here, we're going to go no catenary. Just as it finishes being straight here, I want to pull this line off and across. Just like that. And then we'll put a signal here to stop any trains that are coming up. We'll put a couple of placement signals down here. Now, you see I nearly put one there then, but I'm not sure if the train's going to be linked. To be fair, actually, these little trains aren't. I'll put it here. I was worried that if the train stops out, it could block that junction, but I don't think that's likely to happen. What we will need to do, if we're going to have this as two-way track, is bring that over and have a signal just here and just here. And hopefully that line's gone. It has. The original line to York is now split and is using both sides of the track. We will then need another signal at the end here, just before that merges back in. We are only going to have the one train there anyway, so it shouldn't cause itself any issues. And then from here, I want to branch around. Oh, that didn't work out. If I hook that straight into the right side of the track, what kind of speed can I get up to? See, I don't want to slow down the main track this much. Got down to 36 here, that's a bit... That's a little asking a bit too much. I think that's a little bit too slow, but we can stay in the 40s like that. We'll put a signal just before here. There you go. So we've got the guy coming this way. I'll have his signal to not go onto the track. It's busy. The guy coming down won't come out if they're coming across. And the train that'll be coming this way will stop to let this one out. Okay, that should be about right. So then the train will follow this track all the way up to North Ferriby. Quite a distance up here actually, and then we need a cargo station at North Ferriby. We're going to go 240. We only need the one platform. Ideally I want it this side of town, even though the truck routes are going to have to go down and into the town then. Yeah, we can't really fit it. That side of town's all too busy. Ideally the passenger station should have been this side, but it's one less station we've got to wait for train traffic to come through, I suppose. I don't like the way that lands all causing me troubles. I don't mind the tracks having to adjust a little bit, but I don't like it when it comes out of the station. See the station buildings having to adjust here. Some of the land coming off. If we set this quite far back, We get these trains. See, my idea is to, after this station, to get these trains to go round and under as a sort of loop. So I might even do it a little bit further out of town. If I go here, we'll be high speed now because the main line was high speed. But if we pull that off, or even a little bit further back if we want to keep the speed up. I'm just really conscious that 162 is absolutely fine. I'm just conscious that I don't want to cause too much interruption to the mainline trains coming through. So we've got one signal there. I'm going to put another couple here just to keep things flowing. Just to minimise completely the amount of traffic, and we'll put one before just in case the trains get backed up before the station. And then what I wanted to do is come sort of down this way, but head down out of the station, like so. And that has gone into a tunnel, which is what I wanted, that's fine. Does that straight line go under all the way? It did, before I ruined it. What I want to do is come under like that, but only to about halfway. I want a really tight corner round, like that. And if I can pick up the end, I don't want it to come down. No, you see now it's, for some reason, it's bringing that straight out, and it's causing me issues with that track. If I tell that to go down a little bit, and now start to come up, I think that should work then. Yeah, there we go. Now there's going to be a little bit of a steep incline coming out of here, but because it's only this freight route and it's almost like a bit of a freight line coming out, I don't necessarily mind that. And then I want it to run alongside just a little bit to get a chance to build up a little bit of speed, and then I want to hop back over onto the passengers line, which is that one. That's gone down to 55 miles per hour though, I don't want that. That's too much of an angle. Getting these sometimes can be a real fuss. 82 should be fine there. So we're going to need a signal to stop us interfering with the freight lines, and then a signal on the passenger track. And that should be fine, I believe. Although it looks like it didn't, but oh, it did of course because it's the other way. We've got a signal here protecting the signal, protecting the crossover. Signal here protecting the crossover from this track. And one here protecting that, and then this guy's protecting all of the others. That should be okay for now. So that gets the train back onto the passenger side of the track. The reason I didn't go freight, guys, is just after we've merged, you can see the freight disappears underneath to the oil refinery over there at Goole, so there was no point really just adding it on for that very small section. So then we'll come down. We will have to wait behind the trains coming through the passenger stations again. But it's only that one station, I lie, it's two, it's after Wrestle as well. And then after Wrestle, this is where I want to pull off. So we can go back to standard tracks now. Or actually, I'll tell you what, we will go high speed for this because it'll enable us to carry the speed round. So after that junction, we want to stay at over 100 if we're already doing it. We want to head this way. And then we need to get into that new platform. Now this is where, do we cross over what we're doing? Realistically, I don't want to affect what we've already done. I think I'm going to go this way and head up. And I think I'm going to try and put a nice sort of bridge over this way. I want to go out a little bit like this and then go flat. So if we go flat from there, then as flat, can we get it up and over? We can, but we're coming high speed on the way back, so we want a little bit more speed. Now is that 63 because of the angle? It probably is, isn't it? Yeah. And we've branched off down that direction. So I think that looks pretty good for us. Now if I was to go straight to here, and see, that's awful, isn't it? I was going to say and drop a tunnel in, but so we come out, so we've got a bit of a bridge. Or actually, now I've lowered that, That's not actually too offensive. You know what, guys? I'm going to take that. Let me know what you think about that kind of thing. At first, when it raised all the land, I think it looked terrible, but now we've done that, and if I get the paint tool, just do this back up as grass. Get a little bit of gravel if I put the brush size down. Oh, I didn't notice that though. I'm not a fan of that there. Let's see. If I can delete this track back just a little bit. Of course, we get another autosave. If I can delete this back and make that entrance a bit nicer without those harsh... without those half cliff edges, if you like. It's not going to let me do it that way. And that's because of that cliff edge there, I believe. I'll just flatten all that land out. Does that look a bit better? Oh, that looks a lot better, yes. And then if we get some trees, turn the brush size down. Strength down a little bit, otherwise it's going to give us an absolute forest here. Always put one right where you don't want it. I found that. If I turn this strength down, the brush size down to 1, you can just individually place them, and it can be handy for things where you want to try and hide it. But it looks like that one's actually floating in mid-air. I don't want that one there. There we go. That looks somewhat better, and I can go around myself after and tidy it up a little bit. And then I've just ruined it again by flattening the terrain. That's exactly what I'm trying not to do, which is this. So let's go and do that again. These terrain tools sometimes can be really good, and other times it can be really frustrating when you're trying to get something just right, which is why I don't tend to do a lot of this whilst I'm recording. So I'll put that in and I'll leave it for now, guys. I'm sure you guys don't want to see me messing about with that tunnel entrance for too long. And then what I need to do now is have a look at where we're going to get train onto this line. I mean, we could get one all the way from the main line depot down here, I suppose. But I am getting ahead of myself here, aren't I? We still need these street connections. I am going to use streets here, because it might encourage the town to move out this way as well. I'm going to want a... If I go for the truck stop first, just put that next to the station here. I'll get another street, and I want a curved street this time. Straight around and into the town. And then we're going to need truck stops. So if I can get one that can deliver both here, we'll be on to a winner. I mean, if I can get a truck stop there, or even better here, which I can, it looks like we are covering most of what's going on there. So we've got a road depot over here. So for cargo now, we need to be able to carry goods and machines. So this one here is the new one, 62 mile an hour. Emissions are 66. So it's very slightly better than the older large trucks we had. But it's whether we're going to be taking that many. Emissions 71. We carry 14. I think I'm going to go with just one of these big guys for now. And it's going to be a new line. We're going to go from North Ferriby Exchange. And now to make sure that we're delivering both, I'm going to tell this guy to go for a full load. And for the first time, I want him to go goods and to drop off in the town. And then the second time, I want him to come back. And I want him to go to the other side, the other terminal. There we go. So now he's going to the other side again. And I want him to go full. And this time, I want him to load up on machines. I don't want him to unload anything here either. We'll set that the same. So we've got first time goods, second time machines, and then after that, we want to go to Albert Road again. And that'll just ensure that we are delivering both things into the town. So this is going to be RF Road Freight. Now this is North Ferriby. And it is goods. Mr. Capital there. Goods. Stroke. Machines. Okay, so that truck should already be on its way over. It is, it's just cruising through the town. Let's have a little look at that. I haven't seen these ones yet, actually. Oh, so it's like almost like a shipping container. And it's not very often you see them with the doors in the middle on the side there. It's almost like somebody's tried to convert one into a home. Those buses need replacing as well, don't they? They look vintage to say the least. What shall we swap these guys for? Currently only carrying 9, so we don't need to go massive on this. Swap them for some man buses. There we go, they look a little bit better, don't they? And you can see in the towns now that we've come into the 2000s, the type of buildings and everything that are coming up here. Wiener's Wok, gym, bowling, looks like some kind of leisure centre type place. Right, so now of course that guy isn't going to bring anything in until we put that train on the line. So what we are going to need is something that isn't electric. So we're going to go for diesel. And I do want the torque to get up that slow hill that we put at the start. Sorry, just after North Ferriby. And then we've got the box cars here which go with that train at 99 miles an hour. They can carry both machines and goods. Don't think we're going to need a great deal. North Ferriby, what do you need? 90 of each. So if we can carry 90 or 100, there we go. And then what we're going to need for this now is a similar thing actually, I think. One time to go for goods and then one time... Do we split it like that? Do we go one time for goods and then one time for machines? Or do we just run it as is? Now for here, I want to go for line 5 which is on the outside. I'm going to change this colour just to make it easier for me to see. I want to go from line 5, from terminal number 5, and I want it to go all the way up. I might have to put a waypoint in here to make it act how I want to. So it's using both lines all the way down here. And it's actually using the line on the way out. Perfect. I did think it might choose to go backwards and forwards on the same route there, but no, it's figured out what I want it to do, which is perfect. So now I want to go for TF, or train freight. And this is going to be North Ferriby. And it's going to be the same again, isn't it, really? Goods, machines. So if we click on that, has the train gone on the line? It has. Now this will just take a little while to come down. So this guy should get up to speed and push all the way on down. It's actually choosing to go all the way through the passenger station. I thought it might hop onto the freight line there and then cut onto it where we put that new thing in, but I don't think I put double slipped in. So this guy now, I'm going to keep this pinned and just see. At this goods factory here, we should now have consumers that we have straight away North Ferriby. And then at the machines factory, which is actually all the way over here in Snaith, North Ferriby's on 0 at the moment. So that should kick in, because all the steel and aeroplanes, the steel that's going via aeroplane, the machines coming back, get split onto this station, should put some for us on each platform really. It's just making, once all of those routes have done a trip, it should kick in. So I'll actually keep this one up here as well. This guy's now just come through Broomfleet, so he's got to get down through Wrestle, which means he'll get held up by this passenger service. But once he's out of the way, our guy will be on his defined route then, and he'll go up through that new tunnel. So I might actually stay on board with him here and watch that play out. We've still got one of the old signals there. That's a good point actually. The main line will still have all the old signals on, which it has. I know we're on 3 times speed here guys, but I just want to see mainly how this bridge looks at the end. So yeah, I think the frontage of that tunnel needs a bit more of a clean up. The other side needs sorting, but if I press play here, I think this should be a pretty good little view. We've got the copper and coal, sorry, the iron and coal trains coming underneath, and this guy flying over. I think that's the right decision instead of interfering with the lines that are already in place. I think that's a really nice feature actually through there. It's not too steep of a gradient coming through. We actually haven't got anything waiting there yet, so this guy might just end up disappearing again straight away. Yeah, he's on his way. Hopefully these two here don't interfere with each other too much. He's going to pop through here, and he's absolutely going to miss that train anyway, which is perfect. And hopefully, once he's made a couple of trips, it will kick this in. Because we know now that North Ferriby is demanding the goods coming from here. So as long as this, we'll just double check that this truck stop's got all of these buildings here in catchment, which means it can deliver. And that truck, just to make sure that that truck can deliver, it says all cargo, so yeah. And he's currently making the rounds. So, there you go, North Ferriby's now kicked in, it's got one, and that'll just keep ramping up now. So the next thing that I wanted to look at, guys, was getting market weighting set up. And what I think I'm going to do here, I had a quick look over the map first. We're making food down here at Barton upon Humber. And we've also got the fuel trains running past. So I'm thinking about just putting a small freight train station in here and just running one train all the way up to Market Weighton with both food and fuel on. It'll be a quick win, it'll get everything done, and it completes the map for us. So I think that is what I'm going to do. I'm only going to have 160. I don't want a massive train coming through, or a massive route coming through even. But then we're going to have to, because I'm going to want some of these trains that are coming down, or do I have a separate train that, yeah. Yes, no, I'm in two minds whether I'm doing the right thing here, but we'll go high speed to make it as little of an inconvenience as possible, I think. Right, we're going to need some high speed track. I want to come from this side in, and I want to double slip that so we can get back onto it after. And then what I'm going to want to do is put a signal that's a two-way signal when it goes back. So one train's going to come down here, it's going to go all the way up along that route to get its own fuel. It's going to come back down with fuel, it's going to pick some food up on the way back, and then it's going to go up to Market Weighton. So what we need to do is make sure that this station is in range of the food processing plant. So we want to go country road. If we go country road from here, not like that though. I want to sort of go like that, bit of distance around it. There we go. Is that in range? It's not. Okay, that could be an issue. So what we may have to do then is delete this and put it on the other side maybe. Or do we just, for what it is, put a line in? I think that's probably the best bet. If we put that there, we've already got this depot here, at this truck stop even. So if I just add another cargo platform onto this side, and then we must have a road depot here. We have. Just want something that can carry a little bit of food. We'll go for this one with 25. That should be fine for us. And I want it to go from the other platform here just up to the train station, and that's it. But at Barton upon Humber, I want it to load full. I want it to load only food. And then we need to name that RF for road freight. And it's going to be Middleton food to train. No, this area isn't Middleton, but that's eventually where it's going up to on its Market Weight and not Middleton. I was thinking it was Middleton on the Wold. Market Weight and food to train. There we go. So he'll get in once those move anyway. He's currently holding up the traffic, but that's not too much of an issue for us. It's only the public transport side of it. But then from here, what's the best way for us to get up to Market Weight? And maybe let's look at putting the station in there first. So I want it on this side of town away from all of the residential. I think I'm going to go for a normal station so we can hook it into this road. Or actually, if we adjust this road first. I put that around there and connect in here. We can actually deliver food and fuel straight off the bat. I mean, we will need some delivery just to get the buildings at the back, but we pretty much cover it there. So we're aiming at this area down here. I think it's going to be easier to come from this direction actually, up to Market Weighton. So we just want to keep it pretty much as the crow flies. Don't want it to cause any massive changes in the earthworks, or that's going to have a bridge there, so we'll turn that off. Have a look at the contours. Oh yeah, we're going straight around there, aren't we? There is a dip here, but if we can come round, we can sort of get around to this side. No, I don't want it to go a huge distance out of the way, but I also at the same time don't want it to be just a dead straight run and not taking anything into consideration. So there we go, that's much better. And if we run through here, what's this land look like? I don't think we're going to be able to get away with not doing something around here really. But if we try and keep it just down to the bottom of this basin and then go flat through here, it's going to want to come up the rise here. Or what's the level at the station? If that was to connect in, it does need to go flat through there. We may just have to live with that, I think, because otherwise we're coming up a hill just to go down it again. I think that's a bit of a nicer cut through there. But then we have to go, we go flat, there we go. I just don't like that it's going straight up again as soon as it comes out. But we can pop that onto there now. We can accept that small ridge there. I think that'll do for us. And then, similarly to as we did before, I mean, I'm only going to have one train running this, so I'm not going to need to signal any of that section at all. It's just this bit where we're coming onto the line. That's the only place that we needed one, and we will need one where it comes back onto the line. I'm on that side. So that now, guys, if we can stick a train on there, we've gone high speed, so we'll probably just go for the same, or do we need that fast speed? We are pulling freight though, so Market Weighton needs, it only need 50 feet. So we're going to go for a BR, actually, no, we're going to go for the Series 246 just so we're not slowing down the main line. Because that's the problem we've got. If we go again for 100, it's still got good rating. And then we need a new line. So, I've just ruined that, haven't I? 2 seconds, delete that line. What I've just done is forgotten that this is going to be half fuel. So they're carrying 50. No, we can get the bigger ones now. Right, okay, how much these carry? 20. It's demanding 40, so we'll go for 2. Okay, so for this guy then, we want to go on a new line. And I want to start this guy off up at here. And don't really mind which side it uses. I'm not going to tell it to wait for full because I don't want to interrupt this too much. But I want it to pick up. All I want it to do there is load on fuel. I don't want it to unload anything. Then I want it to come down to Hutton Cranswick. And I want it to load food, unload nothing. And there, I'm going to tell it to wait for a full load. Then we're going to come up, we're going to drop off, and then it's going to go all the way back again, empty. I don't know if it'd make more money if it picks up the food on the way back through here, and then it travels all the way back and forward with it. Let me know if you know about that, guys. I'm not sure if it makes money if you're travelling away from the original direction, or away from the direction of the delivery point, if you know what I mean. That's going to be train freight, and this is Market Weighton, and it's fuel and food. So the only place it's waiting for a full load is here, which means that the fuel will be building up on that platform for him while he's here anyway, which is a good thing. So we should see the consumers now bring market weight in. What I may need to do is just send this guy once. Just so it knows and it kicks this route into shape. How are we looking on grain here? Are we running out of grain at all? I'm hoping what this will do is kick in to say that market weight, and there we go. It knows market weight, and as soon as that train's on its way, market weight can now get food. And from the oil refinery, which is up here, does this now know that market weight and wants some? It does. And it puts them on the line for market weight. So fuel is just waiting for the train there to get delivered. And as soon as this truck starts getting some food, which it has, we know that that route is now all working. And then, if you remember, guys, the other thing I said I wanted to do in this episode is upgrade this main line. And I think that it's about time we got some dual stocks. It's either the dual stocks with 124, or we go for the ICE. But I just don't think they'll get up to speed, the ICE. So we're going to go for... Oh, it's not electric. Right, let me quickly electrify all this. I completely forgot about that. Right, guys, I'm back. That took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. I had to upgrade all the track, and then I had to go into each individual station and delete the track out of the stations and upgrade that to catenary. And then it messed up all of the mainline routes and the stations wouldn't connect, so I had to figure out what was going wrong. It had changed the platforms for some of the routes so they couldn't reach the destination, but we should all be sorted now. So if I go into manage these vehicles, we should be able to get these dual stocks in. It's going to cost us 344 million. No electric path. Brilliant. So now we need to figure out where this problem is. Couldn't connect all stations. So if we go on manage line, so the problem it's got is from Weldrake to York. So if we're going down and have a little look, from Weldrake to York, why can't it connect? So it's going from platform 1 at Weldrake, and we've got it going into platform 2 at York. So let's just check that to start with. At York, we do want platform 2, so somewhere in this section, there's a little bit of track that isn't upgraded to electric. So chances are it'll be either end. Or no, it isn't yet. If I turn him around, is he doing it? He's not. This station is full electric. So if we go along here, if I get the upgrade tool out while I'm here, should be able to see anything. Ah, there you go. You see that red piece? I've missed that on my way around. So now if I tell this guy to head down to York. There we go, we've got rid of the red error message at the top. And then, guys, we've got the dual stocks. I don't know about you guys, but I always think these are a pretty iconic train. Just because them being double deckers, really. I think it was the first ever double decker train I saw in real life, dual stock. But pretty cool. And then that is, guys, going to be the end of the East Yorkshire series. It is the first series that I've started on the channel, and it was the one that first got a lot of you guys interested. Since then, obviously, the Only Tram series has taken over and gathered a hell of a lot of interest, and I'm still after ideas as to what to do in the next series. The main reason I'm ending this one is because I started it by saying it was going to be the vanilla game and there's going to be no mods, and we seem to have got to the point now in 2015 where there's not really a lot of new vehicles coming about and not really any new things to look at. So my main idea, and the one I think I really want to do, is to start a passenger only modded series. I think that'll be good. I've seen a mod where you can get rid of all industries and just have towns, and there's a hell of a lot of train mods. I mean, I tend to stick with European, and there's a lot of British train mods in there that I'm looking forward to using. But the other idea I had is branching out to some other games. So I do own Train Simulator. Now, I've only got about 5 or 6 hours into the game. I'm not good at it at all, and I'm still learning the ropes. But let me know if that's something you'd like to see. And then the other thing I was thinking of doing is a Euro Truck Simulator 2 playthrough. I like the idea of the campaign mode in that you can sort of manage your own business and get some other drivers working for you. So let me know what you think of that. I'm going to close this one out by leaving us riding around the main line. I think I'm going to start at the top end. If we start with one of the trains that's currently heading towards Hull, I think we'll go from here, and I'll be quiet and I'll let you guys enjoy the view. And I might throw in some extra footage of some of the other vehicles that we've got around the map as well, just to close off the series. But thank you as always, guys, for your continued support. For everyone that's made it this far in the series, I really appreciate it. Drop me a comment down below if you've enjoyed the series, and also just let me know what you think about the ideas for a next series. As always, thank you, and I'll catch you in the next video.